Hello, hello, thank you for stopping by. This is Her Story, developed and released by Sam Barlow in June of 2015 for Android, Mac, and Windows. I was looking for something new to play, and I was scrolling through my Steam library. It's pretty large. I usually play a handful of games at one time, and I found myself working on a bunch of lengthy games, and I wanted something that was a bit different and maybe a little shorter, so I scrolled, and eventually I found this. This is sitting in my library. It's called Her Story. Not sure how long it was sitting there, but I loaded it up and I gave it a go. This is a fascinating experience, and it's something that I'm hesitant to call an actual game. I think you could make an argument that it isn't a game, and online it seems like people have actually done that. But whether or not you choose to call this one thing or another, it's certainly an experience, and it definitely felt like it was worth my time. Her Story is an experience related to a particular story. Something has happened, and the purpose of this experience, this is for you to piece together the events of what has occurred, of the story they're trying to tell. We get a basic interface screen, and it's an old computer desktop. It's set somewhere like 10 or 15 years back, I believe, maybe in the late 90s even. Basically, the desktop looks archaic. And there's also this classic screen glare. It's like you're looking at an old monitor. That's pretty neat, but you can switch it off, and that will remove the glare, and it'll increase the resolution just a bit, I think. Basically, you're in a police station. You're on this PC, and all you're doing is you're researching and reviewing archived digital video that is around an event. The video here is from a database, and the database is kind of scattered, and it's hundreds of clips that have been pulled from a series of interviews. I believe 7 interviews in total. Somehow, this is a disjointed story, and you're trying to figure out what the pieces are and get them in the right order, I guess. Or not even in the right order, it's to understand them in the right order. So by default, when you start the game and the interface pops up in front of you, there's a tool that you're using. It's a search tool that searches the database. It already has a word typed into it, and the word is murder. You can imagine that that's what this event is around. You click the search button, and it's going to scan the database on that word, and it'll get you started. It brings up a bunch of videos, and those videos have the search word somewhere spoken in the audio of that particular clip. When you search on a word and you find these videos, the video system here can only display up to 5 in a row. So if your search has found you more than 5, you need to figure out what search words you have to adjust to try to get to see those other videos. There are some other items on the desktop as well. There are a couple of text files. You can look in the trash bin, but the meat of the game is you searching these video clips. That's pretty much the primary. When you find a video, you click on it and you can give it a watch. Some of these videos are going to be just a few seconds long, and some of them are going to be a minute or longer. What you never seem to get is a really lengthy clip that explains something completely. Instead, you get a crazy amount of bits and pieces, and as you watch those pieces out of order, it starts to fill in the story as to what might have happened. You're going to watch a video to uncover some sort of information. You got to pay attention to what the person is saying. And basically, you're looking for any keywords that you could use to search further. Like, for instance, if somebody mentions they took a drive in the video, search on the word drive to see if you get more videos to watch. And you kind of grow your search that way. You watch the videos, you look for new keywords and bits of information, and then search on those. There's also an icon on the desktop, and it's called DB Checker. This is your database checker. If you click on this and access it, it'll show you a grid of what looks like an old hard drive defragger from like the 90s. It shows you how many little blocks that are left, and each block is a video. When the blocks go green, that means you've seen that video, and it'll basically give you a visual of how much you have left to search. The thing here, though, it seems that there's no exact end to this game. You can uncover as many clips as you want, and then you can just leave and stop playing. And the clips you've watched up to that point, they may or may not give you a complete understanding of what happened. Ultimately, when you do get a bunch of the information, the ending that you experience, the understanding you have, will be imperfect. I've watched a better part of all these videos. I've watched multiple parts of these different interviews, and when all is said and done, there's a story that was woven in such a way where I don't think you can definitively say exactly what has occurred. Yes, there are some things that appear to be facts, but there are certainly many questions left over, and I think you could make a few arguments as to what actually happened. Now, I'm trying to be purposefully vague and not give too much detail as to the content of the interviews themselves, but the first search is murder, and that's the default, so we're in that realm. Take it for what it's worth. I thought her story was an interesting experience, and although I don't know exactly what happened by the time I got to the end of this, I was certainly left with something to think about, and I've been thinking about it for a few days. It was a few hours of searching before I stopped, and although I didn't go through every single video, I think ultimately the best I've done is I've got probably 90%. I did have enough of the story together to piece things together, or at least together enough. I liked it. I think if you like this sort of story-driven content, or even if you're not really into something that's a lot of button pushing and all that sort of stuff, this one's pretty accessible, and it's available on a whole bunch of different platforms, so maybe it's something for you. Well, that's all I have today for Her Story for PC. Thanks for stopping by to take a look, and hope to catch you on another video.